All that really means that there's the kids issue problem.
Yeah, so you can ask,
Yeah, for us, it's like.
Hold on a second. The list of approved, yeah.
approved, contacts in that, email. kit.
Okay, all right,
That way, anytime you pop it up, it'll send a code to, there's like 5 of us in the list.
okay,
That
I'll
way
do
you
that.
can log in.
because that's the second time I've had that issue. One, we figured out months ago, but then when they reset the computer and did all this stuff, it must have just removed the cookies or whatever.
Plus, is there a way to like, you just,
I wrote and then he wrote back and pretty much said.
No,
like,
you're stuck
"Oh,
with
we're
it.
good. Don't need it."
Call to order the regular meeting of the Guadalupe Recreation Parks Commission, Tuesday, January 7th, 2025. The Recreation Parks Commission meeting will be broadcast live streamed on the City of Guadalupe's official YouTube channel. Roll call, please.
Joseph Harris,
There.
Enrique Ortiz,
Here.
Emily Dryling,
Here,
Michael Jimenez,
Here.
Arnulfo Navarro.
Here. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Position. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 3, community participation forum, excuse me. And at this time, I don't see anybody, so we'll discuss the voting item number 4. Consent calendar. The following items are presented to the commission's approval without a discussion as a single agenda item in order to expedite meetings. Should a member of the Recreation or Parks Commission wish to discuss or disapprove an item, it must be dropped from the blanket motion of approval and considered as a separate item. Item A, approve the minutes of the Recreation Parks Commission meeting, regular meeting of December 3rd, 2024. Need a motion approved? I motion. You have a motion and a second?
I second.
And motion and second, all those in favor, say aye. Thank you. Go down to regular monthly business. Item number 5 right now, the boys and girls, and I don't see him here at this time. So we'll move to item number 6. You have a common turf project and grants update.
So no major updates. 2 out of the 3 grants we're supposed to hear back in what they said was early 2025. So I'm guessing it's gonna either be like January, February. We'll find out about the California Youth Access and the Whale Trail grant. And then I did receive the grant memo from TPA earlier this week. And I looked over it. There was a couple things that were recreation focused, but I haven't had a lot of time to go through and look at all the criteria. But I did receive that from Barbara.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for that? No. Thank you. Las Mujeres Park update, item number 7.
Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, Commissioners. Happy New Year, Guadalupe. Yes, so I had, my meeting last month for the Las Mujeres Park. And as of right now, the team is still working on the security cameras for the park. And they will work with electrical engineer hardwired system to get that all dialed in the plans. Pacific Coast Land and Design anticipates the coordination and the back and forth with Jeff to get the bid edited and finalized with the technical specifications so that it can go out to bid. They hope to finish that by the end of this month, so that then the city can start the bid process. And that's it for this one. I do have a meeting in 2 days. Our meetings are always off a little bit, so I'll have more updates moving forward. One thing that I did ask them about that we talked about at our last meeting was the murals or public art. It is in 2 locations of the park. There's a 3-sided block wall around the existing ADU towards the north of the park. That's 61 feet long painting space, or 285 square feet. So that's a big section. And then there's a block wall on the north side of the skate park, and that's 35 feet long or 193 square feet. I was asking them if they could give me as much information as possible so that we know how to move forward with this. And they said the theme that was voted on by the public for the park was dunes. However, the theme for the public art is up to the Recreation and Parks Commission. If they want to select a theme at all to even guide the artist. So I guess you don't have to select a theme. You can choose to if you want to. And then it's also up to the Recreation and Parks Commission to decide if they want one artist to do both murals or they want to have multiple artists collaborate on one or both murals. So that's just something we need to start thinking about. We don't need answers now. If you want to take some time to think about that and come back around to it at the next meeting, totally up to you. Decide on theme, no theme, one artist doing all the murals so that maybe they kind of have more of a similar flow, or have separate artists doing them, or have collaborations of artists. There's all sorts of options. So
The theme is that, right?
the theme for the park is dune. The public art piece does not have a theme.
No. Theme of the park is Las Mujeres, honoring women in the community.
The
Correct.
theme of the design of the park is dunes. The name of the park is Las Mujeres.
Well, to me, I'm confused. I mean, dunes aside, Las Mujeres Park is the reason why we selected that, right, was because we wanted to honor the women in our community, right? Correct? Correct. Am I
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Then, if that's the case, then that's your theme.
Well, not technically, that's just the name of the park, and I know that it was to honor women, which is what's gonna happen every year, you're gonna be honoring a woman. The theme of the park that was selected when this whole project started by the public was dunes. So the theme of the decor and the way that they're designing the park is dune theme. Not necessarily that you're gonna see a dunes, but they're using that as inspiration. So it's all very natural colors and it's keeping with kind of the dunes environment.
And that was before we.
That was before you changed the name. So we can't change that. But for the public art, there is no theme that has been chosen. The dunes does not apply to the public art piece of the park. And it's up to you all to decide again, if you want a theme, you want no theme, you want one artist, you want multiple artists. There's lots of different variations, but there's 2 wall murals that need to be done. One 3-sided and one just a straight wall. So again, I would say maybe consider that because there's a lot to think about, and I think maybe time will give us a little more, ideas and inspiration, and decide maybe at the next meeting, come back together and see what thoughts you've brought to the table. Again, it doesn't need to be decided tonight. We have plenty of time. It's just something I want to start working on so that we have a direction.
So there's a budget
There's a budget, there is money, yes,
for the mural.
yes.
So we could put a theme in it if we want. And I think more than one artist would be better, that we have more ideas or different ideas maybe.
The only thing that I think when I consider murals all in one space is that there's some cohesiveness, because there's nothing worse than having one type of artist on one mural and a different one, and it's like, they're like completely different worlds. So I love the idea of having multiple artists, but I would try to have some flow, or maybe have two main artists and then have them almost like collaborate on each other's and add some pieces into each other to help it be a little more fluid. But that's just my 2 cents. Of course, it's up to you guys.
You know, there was a meeting, I think it was on December 11th, and it was the Coastal Commission was talking about doing some murals, and there was like a working group. And they had some survey afterwards. I actually put your name down as something to consider, but I wasn't sure if they're collaborating at all, because there was like 2 potential areas they're looking at doing more murals on, and I don't know.
In the park specifically?
There was 2 locations, and Jack O'Connell was listed as one, and then the other one was a street, and I didn't recognize the name. But I can send you all the email traffic. I don't know how I got added to the invite, but I was wondering what they're planning on doing, just so we don't duplicate.
Yeah, you might want to check with them. I was not part of that meeting, nor am I part of that, what's happening there. I do know this is completely up to you guys, so their input should not be into this. This email came straight from the design company, and they're working with the grant, and they know all the different pieces of how the grant works, so.
I just have a question. Were any of you guys involved in the art on Leroy Park?
Yeah.
So didn't you guys do like a thing where you had them submit and stuff? Okay.
First, we need to know theme, how many artists and all that, and then we can move to the process of like, how do we find these artists? And who wants to come forward. So,
So you wanna put that on the agenda for next meeting?
yes, sir.
All with the favor? I think so.
Yeah.
Come with all your ideas and we'll walk through it, figure it out.
Sounds good.
I don't know how to.
Item number 7, Zumba.
Yeah, so Zumba is doing really well. We're still having great attendance. And this month, we're going back to having 2 classes a week. Last month was just kind of weird with the holidays and all that. And then at the end of this month, we're finally gonna get on a better schedule where it'll be Mondays and Fridays, and it's gonna stay very consistent. We just had to work through all the growing pains of getting the school district on a schedule with the basketball, and then a different basketball group in the holidays and all that. So I think we got that pretty much figured out. Zumba's actually starting in 16 minutes for anybody out there that wants to come Zumba in the auditorium tonight.
How do they get in?
She opens it up. And that's all I got.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for? Move on to item number 9, movie nights.
Yeah, so our movie night this month is January 24th, so we still have a few weeks. Because of the last minute change of plans with the concession stand in December, I think it was just like a couple days difference. I had to change who was doing the concession stands because they weren't able to do it. We had the Bobcat cheer team jump in and do it. But I feel like they didn't get a fair chance to properly market so they could get a really good outcome. So I'm giving them a second chance this month. We've had a full month to market it. We're gonna continue to market it, and I hope that everyone comes out to support them. They need to buy uniforms, and I'm sure that everyone in the community knows how expensive that is. So I, applaud these girls for going out there and working hard to earn that money for those uniforms.
Sounds great. Questions, comments? If not, we go to item number 10, poetry jam.
Poetry Jam returns to Guad. This is the first one of the year. Kind of just rolling right into it and continue our momentum. we have a man, his last name, his first name's Lawrence, but he's putting together, he always put together an email list. So we're looking forward to another year of poetry. Hope to see you then.
Yeah, we're gonna be held again.
Yeah, it's gonna be Friday, January 31st over at the Betts Hall. I believe that's 6:30.
6:30 to 8.
6:30 to 8. Be there and have coffee and maybe some sweets and good music, good people.
Sounds good. You heard him. Alrighty. Go to item number 11, art class series.
Yeah, so based on our last meeting last month, we decided to move forward with another series of 4 more classes for the arts. So that will be going January through May. We are skipping 1 month because scheduling just didn't allow us to fit it in April. We're gonna start January off with a football wreath art class because Super Bowl is coming up. So you get to actually tell us ahead of time what your team is, and we'll make sure you have the proper supplies so that you can make a wreath based on your team. And show everyone in Guad who you think is the best in NFL. Seen a lot of Raiders. And,
No, yes, but no.
yeah. So that will be happening, yeah, that will be happening at the end of the month. It is registrations are required. We still have spaces in the class, so the public can go either onto our Instagram, our Facebook, where the links are, or also on the city website, and the links are listed there as well to register.
I don't see age requirement.
Age requirement is 17, but you can always send your kid to make the wreath for you.
What are they making that out of?
So it's a styrofoam wreath form, and then they use a tool in different colors that you tie onto it in a certain fashion that kind of makes it full. Let's say it's Raiders, you would do the black and the white, and then she's actually the instructor is gonna bring like Raiders logos or whatever logo. So that's why we asked everyone as they register to tell us their team, so we can prepare ahead of time and make sure we have all the proper supplies. So I think that'd be really cool.
Well, it's Saturday too.
Yeah.
Very good. Questions, comments?
Snow globe making, it was a lot of fun, and the contractor that does the classes was really nice, and so personal testimony, it was a good time.
And the best price was free.
Yes, and it was free, and I got her a nice snow globe that lasted us all Christmas. So
Very cool. Any other questions or comments? Now we're going to item number 12, youth evolution sport.
Yeah, so we had winter soccer sessions scheduled, and we had a winter basketball session scheduled. I talked to Youth Evolution today, and due to low registration rates for both the basketball and the first session of winter soccer, they went ahead and canceled them because there just wasn't enough interest. They said across the board, they've been seeing that just because of the time of the year and the holidays, so, you know, no big deal. We still have the second session of winter soccer that starts in February. I updated the flyer so that you guys all have that, and it's of course posted online. And then I'm working with him to set up a second session of the winter basketball starting in February. We're working on scheduling, and we should have that dialed in by the end of the week.
Sounds good. Thank you. Any questions? No, item 13, recreation Wednesdays.
Yeah, so I think that the name is now official as of this meeting. I was kind of contemplating it, but Rec Wednesdays is, they're the rec events that I do on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Again, I get a lot of pushback because people go, why would you do it at 1 o'clock on Wednesday? But you know what? In Guadalupe, the kids get out early on Wednesdays, and it's all about our community and giving them some things to do instead of just going home and being bored. So we are gonna continue our Rec Wednesdays this month. It's gonna be the 15th and the 29th. I've been trying to speak to the different kids and the parents as they come to see what they want to be offered moving forward. Dodgeball was at the top of the list, even though Joe and I tried and it didn't work out, but you know what? We're gonna give it another go.
I'm gonna see if I can get there that day too.
Yeah, I actually was gonna go steal you and bring you here.
Perfect.
Help with dodgeball.
Stay on.
And then the second rec Wednesday, we're going to plant some vegetables, so that they can actually enjoy some vegetables moving forward. As long as they take care of the little plants, they should actually, produce something. And, I'm sorry?
Where are you gonna do
All of it gets done in the auditorium. Yeah. And the kids kind of know the routine now, and they come running, they come out of Mary Buren, come around the sidewalk, and I just hear running down the hallway. And the first thing they do is hit the popcorn stand and then, and then move on. So, yeah, it's nice to see everyone kind of,
Free, which is free.
it is free, it is free. Yeah. Yeah, and it is open to all ages. Adults can come. We had some senior citizens come to one of our events, so it's open to everyone, but of course, we're dialing in on the fact that kids get out early that day. But I do see a lot of parents go and pick up their kids, and so they come and join us. So, you know, for the parents that are available or the citizens that are available, we would love to have you.
Sounds great.
If you guys have any ideas for Rec Wednesdays that you think of, you can always text me or email me or just let me know, because I'm always trying to plan 2 or 3 months ahead of time, so I'm open to any of that. Or if you want to offer your services and like show them something or teach them something, you know, that's a great opportunity for that too.
Yeah, Valentine's in February. It's craft,
All right, cards or
something like that.
something Valentine's Day.
Is it every Wednesday?
It's 2 Wednesdays a month.
Good.
Yeah, and they fluctuate because of scheduling, so it just depends on, you know, what's gonna work best. Unfortunately, I can't have it like a strict like 2nd and 4th yet.
That's calendar up here, so people.
Yes, it's on the website and it stays updated constantly. Juana's constantly getting my flyers and updating it, so.
Should be got a big calendar here, just in case they can walk by, they can see it. Water, okay.
There's the bulletin board. It's not a calendar, but the bulletin board has everything in sequence order, with all the flyers in English and Spanish, so.
Nice, and then a little mailbox underneath.
And there's a little mailbox where you can take flyers.
I've seen people living, oh, yeah, they're looking for.
I know when I come back on Mondays, I see it kind of empty, it makes me happy. So, yes.
Well, we are on item number 14, commission request comments and meeting reports.
I want to, 2 kind of things. One was, if. Me and Anise have talked about it, where I kind of brought it up a few months ago, but possible getting a curtain for the,
I actually am, I'm right on that. The quote should have come in today. If it didn't come in today, it'll come in tomorrow, and based on the quote, I will have an answer for you.
okay,
I have made several emails and calls from December when I spoke with, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Because again, we're doing the fashion show this year. I haven't said that yet, but we are gonna do the fashion show again. Hopefully make it bigger and better than last year, even though last year was pretty awesome. So Stephanie reached out to me and she's like, hey, Arnulfo and I want to do the fashion show. Are you on board? Because you're no longer with,
that's the
FSA. And I was like, sure, let's do it. So now it's gonna be a rec and Arnulfo and Stephanie thing. It's changing the dynamic a little bit, but it doesn't change the outcome. And so we had been talking about the curtain for the stage so that we can have events and it
Look legit.
looks legit and everything. I do have an awesome update. Thursday and Friday, they are actually replacing the stage door. You know, that weird door in the back?
screen.
Yeah. Actually, it's just a
But
piece
it's
of
fully
plastic
secure.
goes on the floor, like tied it together.
I put the chairs in front just in case anybody decides to mess with
Is it
it.
an ARPA fund?
Don't mess with that door.
And to the community, just so you know, the door has not been fixed all this time because it's actually an extremely expensive project. For the back door and the two side emergency doors that they're also replacing, it's $25,000. That sounds crazy, but first of all, the side doors are emergency, so based on how they're open, they're supposed to, work with the security system. Then additionally, the back stage door, if anybody ever wants to see it and wonder why it costs so much, is it's a very odd shape. It's not standard at all. It's the original door from when this building was made. Super customized, and we've quoted it so many times, but we just never had the budget to fix it because it was like $10,000-$11,000 to just replace that door. Thankfully for us, we had ARPA funds that had to be used before the end of the year, and that was a grant, so it's free money. And so they were able to allocate money to get all those doors taken care of. We've also had brand new exit signs put in the gym. I bought the cages to go around them so they don't keep on breaking, which is awesome. A couple months ago, I think I already told you guys, we had some painting done and some little kind of manicure things done in the gym as well. So we're trying to take really good care of the gym since they get so much use.
Have you heard anything about a scoreboard?
No, it's on the to-do.
Okay.
Yeah. The to-do, my list is always really long, people, and I don't forget anything. It's just, I just have to prioritize certain things, but it's on there. It will get done. I hope I've proved that I will get it
Yes,
done.
you have.
Arnulfo, how is the film thing going?
Oh, man. It's such a process. The casting call is wide open. Yeah, just I feel like people are kind of maybe scared to put themselves out there and submit. But I mean,
You're not gonna be, are you? Okay, good.
I mean, no, it's wide open. Anybody that would like to, they're great roles. It's a short film that I plan with Rose's blessing, be at the La Sympathia Cafe. And it's just a night, you have different families, different people coming in off of trains in the cafe. It's called No Cards Dealt, and it really deals with that nobody, and they're dealt, but everybody's working through something. And
Nice.
so to me, I love comedy, so it's I want it to be funny, but I'm not a fan. Like I'm not gonna nothing cheap. Everything's gonna be solid and earned, and like I said, it's gonna deal with the struggle. But within that, there's a plenty of room for comedy. Seeing somebody struggle, such as
Humor.
yeah. But yeah, please submit.
When do you start planning to do all this?
It really weighs on the cast. I have a guy out of Lompoc. He has pretty much all the equipment we need. And it's kind of just weighing on getting the cast right, because that's just essential, just getting the right faces in there and the right energy, which isn't to say, I'm looking for professionals or actors, it's just the willingness to, contribute and just be a part of this film, because that's kind of X factors, the what people will bring to it, that I can't really put on it. It's just they're going to bring to it. But I hope people see it as a fun experience that they'll take advantage of. Acting's fun. I really enjoy the script. It deals with, I feel like, relevant topics, but with in turn, it's a very mixed, and I like that. It's not stuck on one thing, and it's not really trying to solve anything. It's just it's life. It's a little slice of life on a night in a small town.
Sounds good.
Great, well.
Any other questions or comments?
I do have another comment if the commissioner still.
This,
ahead.
pickleball?
Yeah, pickleball. Pickleball is coming to town next week. So because of coming back from the holidays and all that, I did a half month of pickleball. It's gonna be on Tuesdays and Fridays from 10 to 12 in the auditorium. But I'm considering using the courtyard. I don't know if you've all been out there yet, but it's been beautifully cemented. After the meeting, let's take a field trip out there and to the community. I invite you to come out and look at our brand new courtyard.
Yeah.
So instead of asphalting it, it was not gonna cost very much more and it was gonna last a whole lot longer to cement it. So the whole entire thing has been cemented minus the grass area. They painted the lines for the basketball court and then they painted blue lines for one pickleball court. I'm also investigating, I just need to find the right backboards tomorrow. And we will be replacing the backboards with brand new ones and brand new rims and brand new nets.
Jen, you gotta make the honorary shot, first shot, you gotta put it up
Oh,
there.
So we will have pickleball, I guess depending on the weather, I might do it inside, might do it outside, or depending on the person. The nice thing about our pickleball setup is that, the net is on wheels. So, and it's super lightweight, like you can pick it up with one hand. So for me to move from indoors to outdoors, it takes a couple minutes just walking. So whoever shows up, I can always just give them the option of where they wanna play. And yeah, so I'm excited about that. I know I did have a little pushback from the community going, well, you only have morning hours. That's what we're starting with. It doesn't mean that's what we're ending with. We're getting our feet wet. So for 2 weeks, we're doing 10 to 12. I'm like, everyone just give me a minute.
Yes.
So we're doing 10 to 12 twice a week. So that's gonna be a total, yeah, I think like,
People are mad, that means there's interest.
I guess, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's like I posted in the moment I posted, they're like, but why is it in the morning? And I'm like, just hold on, we're gonna start with mornings. And then I definitely wanna move to some afternoons. At the time that I put all this together and marketed, the courtyard was not done. And just because I get told it's gonna be done on a certain time and a certain date does not mean that's gonna happen necessarily. So I was working with a schedule that's for inside the auditorium. Now that I have the availability to use the outdoor court, that opens up scheduling a whole lot. I mean, technically, if anybody came during the day, as long as I'm in my office, I can pull the equipment out for them. It's actually in the C train. The only unfortunate part is that I do have to put I have to break the net into 2 pieces because it's so long that it can't fit in my C train. And I can't leave it outside, it'll rust, and I can't leave it in the gym because I'm sure that it will be played with, and
We'll be just
it's
fine.
not hardy enough to be played with, and moved around a ton, you know? It's meant to be a temporary net, and it works great as long as you take good care of it, so I need to make sure I put it away every time. But we do have plenty of rackets or paddles and balls, both indoor and outdoor balls, so you don't have to bring your equipment, you can just come and try it out. So again, we're gonna start with 10 to 12 through the end of the month. And then we're gonna move on to a different schedule next month, depending on interest, depending on weather, depending on all sorts of stuff. So we're gonna take it a month at a time.
Free lessons or?
As of right now, we're just opening it up to the community. There's a lot of people that already know how to play. There's even a lot of kids that know how to play because at school they show them, different sports.
Probably cool to offer football clinics one time.
Yeah, so kind of what I wanted to do was just feel for interest
Yeah.
this month
Right.
and just see like how many people show up or how many people complain that it's in the morning. I mean, I take that, to me, that's interest.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, I'm not opposed to you getting upset that I'm not offering at an hour you want. That just shows that there's an interest for a different hour. So we're going to kind of see what this month looks like, and then we'll move forward with next month, and that will include possibly having lessons. And if I do that, it'll definitely be like on a Saturday. So that it's open to, a bigger range of the community.
Look at us, first roller skating, now pickleball, we're
Yeah.
moving up in the world.
We are moving up in the world, yeah. And if you have any friends that play pickleball, I know a lot of them are always looking for new courts, so now we have our own outdoor court.
It's nice.
Yeah, we do not have. So most people though that play pickleball, when they go to a city, the net is. Like the net is permanent, it's there, and it's there at whatever hour. We unfortunately don't have that option at the moment. I'm gonna talk to Todd and kind of see if they were planning on putting any holes for us to be able to put a net in. And then you can have like the little stoppers. Or if that was not in the plan. So if it's not in the plan, of course, you have to stick to the drop-in hours, because I have to put the equipment out for you, at least the net. But if we can get to the point where we could put a permanent net in, maybe we could just say like every Saturday, the net will be up. You know, because again, we don't want to take away from the people who want to play basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's a multi-use, but you know, maybe we say like every Saturday or every Sunday, the net will be up all day, and then, you know, we can come and take it back down so that people can play basketball or something. So we'll try to figure out the best possible option.
I did have one question. I saw online today, I don't know if the gentleman was affiliated with the city in any way, but was asking about interest for different veteran events, like trying to get the Memorial Day event and some other things. I didn't catch his name, but I'll send you the link on there. I wasn't sure. I know some of the events that we'd gone to in the past, like some of the veterans had, you know, just gotten a little bit older and not able to put up the flag and stuff like that, but if it is a private citizen, maybe trying to get him connected with the city somehow, if they're doing it at like the cemetery or Vets Hall, and maybe we could help get the word out on it.
Yeah, so normally, I know for sure, Deke, who's with the Vietnam veterans, they do a lot of that kind of stuff, and the American Legion also. So that might be a good connection. I don't think the city has up to now, or at least since I've been here, kind of put those on every time it's appropriate. But we can definitely work on that.
Yeah, I don't know, like if, I was thinking like not necessarily taking on at the event, because it seems like it would be a lot, but like helping just to get the word out, or like if they need, you know, maybe just reaching younger veterans in the community and stuff like that, but I'll send you the post. He had some form you could fill out, and I was gonna maybe put on there, like, reach out to the rec department, maybe, or
Definitely.
maybe I'll screen what's going on and then I'll send it your way,
Yeah.
but.
Well, and Todd's always a good option too, because he has more history than I do, and I know that they're working on different things that I might not know about yet, moving forward. I know that, the other day we got an email from a gentleman that wants to see more, Christmas decor and like city Christmas decor in downtown area and stuff like that.
Those two.
Oh, okay, I missed that one. I normally catch them most of the time, but unfortunately, the email went into my junk folder, so I didn't see it in the month of December. Not that he expected it to happen this year. But again, I forward that to Todd because this is my first holiday season here, and it's not up to the rec department to do that. And some of these events, like some of the holidays, I'm not sure where there's the line in between. Yeah, I do events, but it's a city.
Yeah,
It's the city putting on the Veterans Day celebration. So I'm not sure if that poured into me doing it, or I'm not sure who exactly takes on like those kind of set holidays throughout the year where certain things should happen.
There's set, we can help advertise.
Yeah, oh yeah, advertise is not a problem. So I just need to kind of see where those lines are and who exactly should do what and what the city is wanting to participate in moving forward. But I do know that he was telling the gentleman that was asking for the Christmas decorations that they are working on beautification projects.
Cool.
I'm not in on what those are, and I know they're still kind of a work in progress. So again, there's certain things that I just don't have the knowledge of, or I'm not being included in, which is, you know, fine. So if you just bring that stuff to my attention, I will then move it Todd's way, or you can send it straight to Todd and kind of see if there's any plan for that kind of stuff. So I'm happy.
And the only other question I was gonna ask, because someone asked me about it the other day, I know we did the dad-daughter Valentine's dance. Do you think that'll be on the horizon in February, or are we taking a year off from that?
No, we are doing the father-daughter dance in February. I actually was working on that today. We're doing a mother-son dance in March because that was requested last year. I'm working on themes and I'm working on timelines and vendors and budgets and all that stuff. Last year, the couples paid to go. I know this year we're doing free events, but I need to kind of decide if that is an event that is also free, or maybe we could just, it could be discounted. Maybe we take on half the cost and then push out the other half the cost, so I'm gonna find out, what direction we wanna go on that. Yeah.
Sounds good.
So that will be coming out shortly. I'm working on all that, so I didn't wanna push out any flyers or say too much until I kind of have that dialed in a little bit more.
Just so you know, it's coming.
It's all coming. We're also doing the single mile celebration again this year, just in case anybody was wondering. I plan to do the art in the park again. I think that was cool. I think we can really build upon that. So anything that you've seen me do in the last, I think it's been what, 10 months now. I think almost everything has been pretty successful, or we can definitely work to build it more. So if you've seen me do it, I'm gonna do it again. Bigger, better, different, new, all that stuff. So,
I have one more. I'm not sure, I think the only community cleanup, the only one I've really seen is like an Earth Day one. I feel like we should have more like a rotating one, like rotating in the different parts of the community throughout the year.
So I know that Stephanie reached out to me and Todd about that, and I believe it almost 100% sure it was Stephanie. And she was asking about that, and Todd, I would have to go back to the email to look at it, but Todd had a response on if community members want to get together and do that on some sort of one-off, or say like every 3 months we want to do this. I believe he was saying that we will make sure that the city will make sure that they have the supplies to do it, and we'll try to help as much as possible, but it would definitely be community driven.
Okay.
But I can get back on that email and try to find the information and forward it to you guys so you can see it.
Yeah.
So I think it's great.
So, the other day, I was driving by New Pioneer and Second Street. There's the bus stop at a bench, there's a little grassy area. And it's real ugly, been ugly since I was a kid. And I just, one day I always wanted to see that. It actually looked really nice, and I wonder, start mentioning, get that place cleaned up and landscape nice and grass cut and just, it's awful.
I think the grass was cut today.
It's cutting the grass, leveling that.
I hear you. I've lived there. I live right there.
Would love to see that spot. Just,
I'm sorry, you said Pioneer Park?
Pioneer Street, corner of Pioneer Street and Second Street.
It says Bonita Pacifica on the sign that's there.
Yeah.
Oh, is
Across.
it actually a little park, or is it just like a green area?
It's like a green area.
Okay, Pioneer and
Second. We had some graffiti there a few weeks ago and then it got covered up. So was that you or who just? Okay, cool. It was a lot of graffiti and they got it.
I think, I don't know if Streets works on graffiti or if maintenance.
I was really impressed by the quick.
One day, if you get some extra money just to redo that spot, just to beautify that neighborhood, it could be worth. Because it's neglected, very neglected. I think people probably appreciate it.
I would appreciate it. It actually looked better today when I drove by though, because the grass was cut, but again, the cleanup, that's one of those spots that I'm like, I would love to just go.
Yeah, it's because those kids come out on their papers and they.
Yep.
Blows the wind and you see it's a lot of trash from the stores or whatever,
Okay, I will talk to Todd about that since he's in charge of the maintenance group and see what can be done.
I like the idea of the community cleanup, because at least online, which is not a perfect pulse of people, but like the one talking about the Christmas decorations, there was like hundreds of comments. And I'm like, these are people that, if you said, hey, you want the community to look nicer, come out and do. It'd be nice to give people a vehicle to do something, not a huge commitment, but just come out for an hour and clean up.
Yeah.
All you need is.
Yeah, I
There's a
think
lot.
rotating throughout like the different parts of the community, because sometimes it's maybe just Guadalupe, just certain areas, and it's like, we should spread it around, because there's plenty of spots, just neighborhoods, regular neighborhoods that just need cleanup, just take up the trash,
in various parks.
Yeah,
Well, they say many hands make light work, so if you have 20 people for 1 hour, that's plenty. I mean, a lot can get done.
yeah.
There was this nonprofit, it's been a couple of years since they came to town, and I remember they did a thing where they showed how many cigarette butts they picked up off Main Street, and it was like a 5-gallon bucket full. And they showed it on their website. I forgot the name of the nonprofit, but it was like maybe 3 years ago they came through, so there is trash to clean, we just need people to clean it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I could bring it up at the next coalition of nonprofits, because that's on Friday, if anybody wants to come, it's.
G-Con?
That's sick of a name. Oh, worst. I can go.
And when is the G-Con meeting?
Friday at 3, I believe. At the social club.
So,
Oh, nice.
Open bar.
Yeah, I can bring it up and let them know that this is something that has been thrown out there, that they want to get involved in it. One of the things that I think I mentioned last time is that the participation declined so much that there's only a few people, so that's what strategy moving forward is to bring the people back. Hopefully, start realizing there's a lot to be done, and this is a good project to do. Nonprofit, pick a day.
You see the immediate effects. It's not like, oh, you have to wait, like, oh, this looks nicer now.
Correct.
Yeah.
A 5-gallon bucket of cigarette butts, that's what it is.
Yeah, I think Todd was saying that they could provide, buckets and things like that, and then if all the trash got left in one spot, then we would come as a city and pick it up, kind of a thing, so,
That'd be nice.
it's not necessarily the city or the recreation department doing it, but it's supplying everything that's needed and just helping the process,
Yeah.
Once you pick up the trash, you don't have to take it anywhere, you just have to tell us where it's at, so we can pick it all up, so.
No, bodily.
Any more announcements or anything?
I just have a question on these flyers. They're great, by the way, but are they done in Spanish as well, or?
Yes, I don't give you guys the Spanish version because I didn't think any of you wanted it. But I can provide it to you if you want, but, whenever I post anything, it's always posted in English and Spanish. Whenever I put it on the bulletin board, it's English and Spanish, the website, English and Spanish, the school district app, English and Spanish, so,
I think you mentioned that before, but.
Yeah. yeah, no problem.
Anything else? This time I might look for an adjournment in case anybody wants to talk about anything else.
Let's go look at pickleball.
Yeah.
No, that's
Is the light working out there right now?
they have light.
I believe they are, yes.
The solar light?
It's nice out there. Before we look for a motion of adjournment, motion. Second. All in favor of adjournment, you say aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you for inviting us into your home this evening.